Hi guys, it's Real Talk with Tracy, and I have a podcast as well as a YouTube channel. Usually with the YouTube channel, it seems like there's more fun stuff, a lot of doggy things, all sorts of things, real life stories on both. But one thing I was thinking about today that I wanted to talk about, and I'm already breathing hard, is toxic mothers. We blame ourselves a lot for having mothers that weren't good to us, that were critical of us, that were not kind, that did not love us. And it's not our fault. It is not your fault. So it's an enormous amount of thoughts that go through my head because I had like a double situation. I was raised by my aunt, and it was kept a family secret until after her nervous breakdown when I was 12. And my mother is her sister. She was only 18 when she had me. And her husband left. He left a note. I can't do this. That was one of many that he did throughout his life. So he left her a note and left. And she was only 18 and she was really scared. And her sister was older by 12 years, could not have kids, kept having miscarriages. And now that I look back, I realize maybe God was giving her miscarriages because she wound up to be a very difficult person. She put me through hell. But I would say the first 10 years were pretty good. Until her nervous breakdown, they were pretty good. I was like her everything, and I really filled her narcissistic dream, which was to have a child, not really to have a child to do everything for the child, more to have a child to fill up the emptiness in herself, which I don't think that's a good reason to have a child. Every day she would ask me, who's the best mommy? Who's the best mommy in the whole world? And I'd say, you are. You're the best mommy in the whole world. I remember saying that all the time. And her husband, who was really my uncle, who I thought was my father, who I called dad, was ultra critical. Growing up with him, he was very sadistic when it came to tickling until I was crying as a toddler and hitting him and telling him no. And I was in pain, and he would stand over me and just laugh, push me back on the floor, tell me to get up. Then when I would try to get up, he would push me back on the floor again. And he would tickle me, usually when she wasn't around. And I would beg him, no, stop it. And he would just laugh. And as I got older, it's like, you're fat, you're lazy, you're stupid, you're never going to amount to anything. And this is what I grew up with. And then after her nervous breakdown, she came home one day and she said, it's all been about you, but I want you to know things are changing. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's all going to be about me now. I'm done with it being about you. And she would leave. I was 12 for like a week at a time. Sometimes she would come home from a nightclub in the middle of the night with like 3 or 4 men. She was drinking. She was partying. She was the monster in my house. She was crazy, untreated, drunk, bipolar, in my opinion. And I wound up going to my school where I wasn't classes for highly gifted children, even though I have dyslexia. And I talked to all my teachers and my counselor, and I wound up going to the sheriff's department and filing a report against her, and I was put in a foster home, which was the greatest thing to get out of that misery of not knowing what was going to happen. It was hard for me to sleep. It was hard to be there. It was a really bad time from like ages 12 to 15. So I went in a foster home, which was a light of sunshine. It was a place where, for me, I could breathe. And then my uncle, dad, / came back on the scene and took me out of the foster home because he thought he would have a chance of getting the beautiful house we had on a lake. But that didn't work. He thought, oh, if I have the kid, I'm going to get that house. No. And he would leave every Friday and not come back till Monday. And I ran wild. I had no supervision. I didn't feel like anyone cared about me. And I made a lot of mistakes. And luckily for me, thank God, luckily, I met a wonderful man who I've been with now for 39 years. And he is my husband. He's my lover. He's my best friend. He is amazing. And just by the grace of God, I was able to have this relationship, even though I've had all these family issues. So I just want you guys to know that you're not defective. There's nothing wrong with you. If your mother's being toxic, you can do two things. You can set boundaries. In other words, if you say ABC to me, that's not going to be acceptable. And when you do that, I will leave. There were times my dad would say horrible things about people at a restaurant. There would be people, we'd be going to like, let's say like a buffet salad bar, and people would walk in and maybe they were fat, and he would be like, oh, you going back for seconds? Oh my God. And he would make really loud comments. And I said, you know, you're an embarrassment to me and you're being mean and cruel. And if you continue to do this, I am going to leave you at this restaurant. And there was a couple times I literally left him. I got up and walked out. I'm like, I don't condone this and I'm not going to be around it. So I don't have any of these people in my life. Both my biological mother and my aunt that raised me have both passed away during COVID in 2020. And I was estranged from both of them. I do not see either one of my fathers, but I want you to know, guys, I've had an amazing career. I have incredible friends. I have a wonderful husband, and I have great sister-in-laws. And I found my brother, who I never knew, who I found out I have a half-brother, and I met him 3 or 4 years ago. And he and his wife are wonderful. So, you know, you can go on. You can have a good life, even though you have toxic parents or a toxic mother. You do not have to take the abuse. You can walk away and just say, you know, this is not acceptable. And you can go on and you could have a beautiful, wonderful, incredible life. Have I had a lot of pain? Have I had a lot of counseling? Yes. It's been hard. At times it's been really hard. It's hard. It's hard not having the kind of family that some of your friends have. It's hard when the guy at Trader Joe's, when you're getting your groceries, says, oh, I can't wait till Thanksgiving. I'm going to go back and see my mom in North Carolina and all my sisters. and they just had babies and there's going to be 25 people there. I feel so left out, you guys. I feel so, even with a great husband, I feel so alone at times. But you know what? We have to do the best with the hand that we've been dealt. And God has been great to me. And he's allowed all of this pain to be funneled into being more empathetic and understanding and caring for other people. So I just want to say thank you. I want you to know that I listen to a lot of other videos. There's a guy, Andrew, in Costa Rica from Narc Daily, I believe is what it's called. His daily videos has saved my mental health. He has helped me so much. There's so many people out there that are doing these videos that are so heartfelt and that are so helpful. But today, what you need to do is, instead of doing for everybody else and jumping through hoops, sit down, think of all the things that you're proud of that you've done. Think of all the happy things today. Maybe you were driving and you didn't hit any red lights. Oh, wow. That's great. Or maybe you had a really good lunch, or maybe you took the dog for a walk. And just be thankful for what you have, and all the other stuff and all the other crap and all the people that are crapping on you. Push them aside, because you don't need that in your life. Just love yourself. It is okay. It's okay to put yourself first. That's how you heal. Your oxygen mask on the plane, it goes on your face first, right? Before your children's face. Now, I didn't have kids because I was so afraid. I was so afraid of giving birth to my mother or my aunt, or winding up acting like them or being like them. So I did miss out that way. But I've been able to be around a lot of nieces and nephews, and that's been wonderful. So let's just look at all the wonderful things that we have to celebrate today. I just want you to know you can reach out. I will text you back. You can make comments below. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's also some really funny stuff. If you're into dogs, if you're into dog rescue, if you like comedy, there's some fun stuff. And then also, guys, Google, hi guys, Real Talk with Tracy. I am now in 75 countries and I'm on, I don't know, 9 or 10 channels. My podcast has really exploded. So I'm glad that I'm doing this. It's very cathartic for me and it's helping a lot of people. Have a beautiful day and know that there's nothing wrong with you. I don't care what your mother or father tell you. You hold your head up high and you take care of yourself. You're a good person. God loves you. Okay, guys. Bye.